Amara's journey to confidence. Amara was a girl with boundless curiosity and a quiet determination, but there was one thing she struggled with more than anything else: speaking English fluently. Growing up in a small town where everyone spoke her native language, Amara hadn't needed English until recently. Now, she was moving to the city to study at a university where English was the main language, and she felt nervous. As her departure approached, Amara grew more anxious. She was determined to succeed, but every time she tried to speak English, words seemed to get tangled in her mind, and her confidence slipped. Still, she couldn't back down. She was excited to explore the city, meet people from around the world, and pursue her dream of studying environmental science. On her first day in the city, Amara arrived at her new university, clutching her bag tightly. She noticed groups of students chatting in English, their words flowing easily. She hesitated before entering, her heart pounding. She could understand English well enough, but speaking felt like a mountain she wasn't ready to climb. Her first class was challenging. The professor asked each student to introduce themselves. When it was Amara's turn, she felt her hands tremble and her face flushed. She managed a few sentences, but her words were broken, and she struggled to find the right vocabulary. She felt the sting of embarrassment, especially when a few students exchanged glances. But Amara told herself, this is just the beginning. Determined to improve, Amara spent her evenings practicing. She watched English movies, mimicking the actors' words, trying to catch the nuances of pronunciation. She also listened to English songs, jotting down lyrics and singing along. It was a slow process, and there were days she felt frustrated, doubting herself. But she kept pushing. One evening, Amara decided to take a bold step and joined an English-speaking club on campus. She walked into the club's meeting room, feeling like an outsider. The students around her chatted confidently, but Amara took a deep breath and introduced herself. The club members welcomed her warmly, and she soon found herself in a conversation circle, sharing stories with them. At first, Amara felt self-conscious, but as she continued, she noticed that people weren't judging her for her mistakes. They were patient, even encouraging, and she began to feel at ease. Gradually, she started opening up, sharing bits about her life and her passion for the environment. Each time she spoke, her sentences became smoother, and she felt a small surge of confidence. One day, the club decided to host a debate on environmental conservation. When the moderator asked if anyone wanted to participate, Amara felt a familiar nervousness. But then she remembered her goal. She hadn't come all this way to stay silent. She raised her hand, surprising herself and a few others. That night, she prepared for the debate, researching facts and practicing her arguments in English. The day of the debate arrived, and Amara stood in front of the room, facing the audience. Her hands trembled, but she took a deep breath and began. She stumbled over a few words, but she kept going, her passion for the topic shining through. By the end of her speech, the room filled with applause. Her heart swelled with pride. She had done it. Afterward, one of her classmates, Zoe, approached her. "You were amazing, Amara," Zoe said, smiling warmly. "Your passion really came through. I could see how much you care about the environment." Amara felt a warmth spread through her. She thanked Zoe, feeling a newfound sense of belonging. Over the next few months, Amara and Zoe became close friends, and Zoe helped Amara practice English, gently correcting her grammar and teaching her new words. With Zoe's support, Amara's confidence grew, and she began participating more actively in class discussions and group projects. One day, her professor assigned a project where students had to present solutions for a real-world environmental problem. Amara's team was tasked with addressing water pollution in nearby rivers. Amara took the lead, organizing her team and presenting ideas, speaking in English, with an ease she hadn't imagined possible months earlier. When she finally presented their project to the class, she felt a surge of pride. Her words flowed naturally, and her voice was steady and confident. Her classmates listened intently, and her professor nodded approvingly. At the end of the presentation, the room erupted in applause. Amara felt like she had finally found her voice. As she left the classroom that day, Amara reflected on her journey. She had started as a shy girl, nervous to speak a language that felt foreign to her. But through persistence, support from friends, and her own resilience, she had transformed. She knew there would still be moments of doubt, but now she had the confidence to face them.